Namaste. Meditation on the Bhagavad Gita. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amvattvāmanusandadāmi Bhagavad-gīte Bhavatveshinim. Oh, Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha, which was included in Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa. O goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism through your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. And now, Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramartanam Devakim Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. O son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. And Arjuna has raised his doubts in the first two shlokas, the first two verses of this third chapter, karma-yoga of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And now Sri Krishna is all, set, all ready to answer the doubts, to answer the confusions raised by his beloved disciple Arjuna. Sri bhagavān uvācha. Loke smin dvi-vidhā niṣhṭhā purā proktā mayānagha jñāna-yogena sāṅkhyānāṁ karma-yogena yoginām. Sri Krishna is telling him that don't get confused. There is no need to have this dilemma of what is great, whether knowledge is great or the karma is great, as I had told to you in the Sāṅkhya Yoga in the second chapter. Now Sri Krishna is telling that both Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, they are not in fact contradictory, they are complementary. And Sri Krishna is just giving an assurance to Arjuna that no, my dear child, my dear disciple, my dear devotee, my dear friend, I am not leading you to any confusion. I am just telling you all the perspectives of attaining this self, attaining this Brahma-jnana, attaining this Atma-jnana that I had told to you in the Sāṅkhya Yoga. And Sri Krishna says, Sri bhagavān uvācha, the Lord, the blessed Lord said, loke asmin dvi-vidhā niṣhṭhā purā proktā mayānagha. Anagha, Sri Krishna is referring to Arjuna, oh sinless one. Now, since Arjuna is in the state of confusion, Krishna wants to his morale, his confidence building, saying, you are not a sinner, oh Arjuna, you are a sinless one. Don't have this confusion. Don't have this kind of self-pity that I am confused, I don't know what is to be done. Now I will tell you. Sri Krishna says, loke asmin dvi-vidhā niṣhṭhā. Loke is in the world, to all the people in this world. Purā, previously, right in the beginning. Dvi-vidhā niṣhṭhā, twofold path. Purā, proktā, maya. I have already, maya is by me. Purā is previously. Proktā, I have already explained. I have told, I have said. Now Sri Krishna is telling, oh Anagha, oh sinless one, I have already declared this two-way path, this twofold path to the people, to the world, right in the beginning. I have already elaborated on that much earlier when this universe came into being, when this world came into being. I have already previously only I have told the people, I have told the world this twofold path. Now, what is the twofold path? Jnana-yogena sāṅkhyānāṁ. Jnana-yogena is path of knowledge. Path of knowledge of whom? Path of knowledge of sāṅkhyānāṁ, of the discerning one, of the people following that school of philosophy known as Sāṅkhya philosophy. So that path of knowledge for the followers of the path of wisdom, the path of prajñā, path leading towards attaining the steady wisdom, the sthita prajñā. That is one path I have already told. And also karma-yogena yoginām. For the people who are performing actions, who are active, for them I have already told the path of karma, path of action, path of duty. They are not different paths. Twofold paths leading to the same goal. That is what now Sri Krishna tells Arjuna, that don't get confused. The twofold path was given by me, O sinless one, to the world in the beginning itself. Path of knowledge for the discerning, for the meditative type of people, for the people who are contemplating on their self. For them, the path of knowledge. And for the yoginām, to the active people, to the people who are engaged in duty, for those, karma-yogena, path of action, that I have given to them, path of work. Now, recognizing the self through the process of discrimination and detachment from the non-self is known as path of knowledge. Sri Krishna, whatever he told in the later verses of Sāṅkhya Yoga, when Arjuna asked him, what is the nature of the sthita prajñā, what is the nature of the one who has gained steadiness of wisdom, who has become, whose mind is firm, who is no more doing whether I should do this or I should do that. So what is that person's nature? And the way Sri Krishna had elaborated, what does that person look like? How does that person behave? How that person achieves the oneness with the self? All those things, they become the path of knowledge followed by the Sāṅkhya yogis. Now, clarity of understanding comes as one continues to discharge one's duty with dispassion. Now, Sri Krishna says, Sri Krishna has also talked about doing the duty in a non-attached manner, in a detached manner. Do your duty, whatever has come to your lot, do your duty in a detached manner. Now, Sri Krishna says, intellect clarified thus gets to know the self clearly. When you are performing the duty as the Lord's duty, it is not my work. I am doing it as the Lord's work. I am not attached to this work that I am doing. It is the Lord's work that I am doing. Good or bad, let Him decide. The moment the karma-yogi, the moment the person who is performing that work, that action, that duty starts doing it in this manner, with this kind of understanding, it is not my work. Then that knowledge of the self automatically dawns in his mind. Like Sri Ramakrishna used to say, perform all your duties like maid servant in the rich man's house. Remaining detached. Do all your duties in the world. It is not that you renounce everything and just go to forest and sit there in the cave. No. That is escapism. For the householders, that is not the way. So be brave, do your duty. But it is not your duty. That is Lord's work, that is your mother's work that you are doing. The path of knowledge and path of action are both conducive to the cognition of the self. Whether you go through a meditative way, I am he, soham, soham, aham brahmosmi, and all that kind of philosophical jargons, even then you reach that path. And doing your duties as a faithful, dedicated servant of the Lord, servant child of your mother, even then you reach that path. Ultimate objective is to know your true self, is to have that knowledge of Atman, the ultimate dweller in this body, because this body is going to go. That Atman is going to remain, and through the faculties that the Prakriti has provided us, through the senses that the Prakriti has provided us, through the organs that Prakriti has provided us with, let us do our duty in totally detached manner. Aspirants inclined to discrimination and those to duty are found in the world at all times. Yes, there are some people with the meditative way of life. Some people active way of life. They are performing always busy with doing something, doing this, doing that, doing that. So for both types of people, the Lord has already shown the way. Path of knowledge for the meditative type and path of karma for the people who are action oriented, who are duty oriented. These paths therefore eternally exist along with man's aspiration for self-perfection, and therefore Sri Krishna says that this knowledge I have already shared with people right at the beginning of this universe. Uh, Loke asmin dvi-vidhā niṣhṭhā purā proktā mayānagha. Much earlier at the formation of this universe itself, I have told them these are the two ways you can reach your path of attaining the self-knowledge, of attaining Brahma-jnana, of becoming sthita prajna, and then getting or subsequently getting into that state of samadhi, of samadhistha. So that is the Sri Krishna has just started now answering Arjuna's queries, confusions, and he says there is no confusion at all. These are not contradictory paths. These are rather complementary paths. Don't have this confusion whether I should do this or would do that. It depends on what kind of attitude you have. If you have the attitude of meditation, if you have the attitude of discrimination, discriminating between real and the unreal, choose the path of knowledge. Be a Sankhya yogi and you will reach your goal. You can also reach your goal by becoming a perfect karma yogi, performing your karma without attachment, in total detachment as the servant of the Lord, as the servant of the master, as the child of the mother. Do your duty, that's it. Even then you will reach that ultimate objective of gaining the Brahma-jnana, gaining the Atma-jnana. Now, in the next verses, Sri Krishna is again going to tell more about how through karma also you can do it. Earlier he had told us how through Sankhya, how through the philosophical path of Sankhya, you can attain self-knowledge. That is what he has told. Now, in this particular chapter, Karma Yoga, Sri Krishna is going to tell us that while with that you can attain self-knowledge, even with karma also, you don't get confused. So, this is what Sri Krishna is going to tell us from the 4th shloka onwards in this Karma Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swami.